Hey, welcome back, and see, I said I'd do something and here I am actually doing it this time. Hello, welcome back. We're doing Tower of Trials for floor 6 through 10, so let's get right into it. I'm already forming it, so the first team is going to be a Mirsyl team. I'm using her second awaken ability because it has the most benefit to her. It deals damage equal to 35% of Mirsyl spell power to enemies and heals allies the same amount within range using her ability. So yeah, she's going to do really well. She has a huge range, especially when she's tier 7. That's the most important part. Make sure she's tier 7, by the way. For equipment, you give her staffs and a bow. And the relics, here's a funny story. So I would usually just run the mask, the insignia, and the... I would use the staff relic. However, I actually didn't do that when I started recording. I left it as the combat boots, the speed ones I used for last time with Shelda. So just make sure you change your relics, because I did not. But as you can see, she's completely demolishing this floor. It's unbelievable. Everyone just dies instantly, so it's going to be very easy from here. And then on the other side, we have, what's his name? Baldir, Chad Brad Treeman himself. So for forming for him, you have the mask relic. For that, you can put the mask in the front and he'll be in his bear form. And if you put the regular Baldir in the back, he'll be in his deer form. So that's going to be very, very beneficial, especially if you have his first awaken ability equipped. So his deer form generates a mark on the target, and when another Baldir in his bear form attacks that marked enemy with a normal attack, it deals damage equal to 75% of Baldir's spell power. And honestly, that's insane. So it also does HP recovery, but the damage is going to be insane. And then on top of that, there's a Blessing of Mystique. So all Mystique classes have a increased stats by 50%. So yeah, they're going to completely destroy these set of floors here. It's not even going to be a struggle. And then, okay, let's talk about the relics for this one. So the relics I'll be running will be the Insignia, Mask, and the Dagger of Sacrifice. Now the Dagger of Sacrifice is important because it provides protection equal to 100% of max HP. It only takes up 40% of the friendly hero HP, so it's not that big of a deal, right? The reason why is because there is a the debuff for this set of floors. It prevents all ally heroes from generating mighty blocks, so not very good. That extra protection is going to be very helpful, especially towards the boss. The altars I'll be running will be 15 blacksmith as usual, and then 10 mage, because that 10 mage will help him use his ability more and more often. The more he uses his ability, especially the deer uses his ability more, it'll do so much damage. So gonna do a lot. Now it looks like Mirsyl's completely destroying like these floors, right? She's like designed to destroy these like skeleton guys because there's so many of them and they're so weak. For Baldir, it might not seem like it, but he's still doing pretty well. I don't think he's had a struggle yet, or for the rest of these floors. However, the roles will switch by the time of the boss. So Mirsyl, it won't do as well on the boss because she's designed for like crowd control. However, Baldir is very good at taking care of the boss. You'll see. Let's see, we are still running the Transcendence Miracle. That is just still very helpful regardless of the hero. I don't want to use the other ones because, again, they aren't all that good. At least in my opinion, for this specific scenario. Did I mention equipment yet? I know I did for Mirsyl. It's the staff bow. It's actually going to be the exact same thing for Baldir. That's just because I want the deer form to do as much damage as possible. The bear form is just kind of there as like a tank distraction and can deal damage too, but not as much. So I kind of put all my cards into the deer form and gave them the most beneficial equipment for the deer form, not the bear form. Okay, so I would talk more about the boss, like when the boss actually shows up. However, I do clear it really fast just because they do so much damage. Now, I would say that you could use Kanak as a substitute for the boss fight instead of Mirsyl, because Kanak is more designed for boss fights, but I kind of left it because it is just floor 10, you know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. However, I would not suggest using Kanak on the actual floors just because he's like not designed for that. He's again designed for boss fights, not skeletons, because there's so many skeletons. It's just not his thing. He'll just die or struggle really bad. Recommendations for this, I'd say like the only thing you really have to look out for are the spawning guys, the ones that spawn the actual skeletons. I don't know their actual names, I'm very sorry, but what you would want to do is just take them out as fast as possible. And if that means using like a TP relic also, because that's pretty valid, that's a valid choice, but I decided not to use it. I didn't think it was all that necessary, especially since Mirsyl is a ranged unit. They can definitely benefit from the range instead of the good old TP behind and stab in the back, right? You know what, I'm going to gush about Mirsyl some more. Mirsyl's honestly really good because not only does she deal damage with a giant area of death, like anyone that steps on there just takes damage and just dies right away, but she also heals herself, and I think you'll see that in the boss as well, where the boss will attack like one of the Mirsyls, which will be stunned, and then the other Mirsyl will just put in a healing spot right there, which will heal the Mirsyl, the Mirsyl that's taking damage. So I think that's a broken combo for these floors, but that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts about this team down in the comments below. Like, Mirsyl and Baldir, do they do pretty well when I honestly think they're like the only Mystique class heroes that could actually do something in this chapter. I mean, Kanak too, but like, as I mentioned earlier, like sometimes yes, sometimes no. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below, like, what would you do? What would you change about this team, if anything, you know? I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. And you know me, I always respond to your posts, or at least react to it, like within the first day or so. We'll see. Alright, boss time. You are going to be facing the Monarch's White Lion, Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil focuses on attacking the hero with the highest attack count, so be on the lookout for that. And what they do is they kind of like step back, charge, and they cause them to be stunned for like several seconds. So it's kind of weird, kind of wonky, but he's not that difficult to deal with. It's only floor 10, so... You know, as I was saying earlier, Mirsyl isn't designed for boss fights, but she does really well at this because like one heals the other one as that other one is taking damage, so it's pretty nice. And then Baldir does really well with this one because the bear will take all the hits because that's the one that's attacking faster, and then the deer form will do all the damage. But other than that, it's a pretty easy clear, and with that, I'm going to start collecting all the rewards, all the loot I got from this. And while I do that, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more, please let me know and I will be more than happy to show off more of these teams. Alright, see you later.